Hey y'all. So normally I would be recording something called 3 books. So historically I would talk about 3 books all in one video, but this time I've decided that I'm going to record them separately and post them separately and see what I think about that. So this is the third one. I've looked exactly like this in the other two, but this one is for Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. Did you hear how my voice kind of like dropped? I don't know why I've got this affected sound to my voice right now. Maybe because I know my partner can hear me because he's right over there on the other side of that window. Nosy. Anyways, Honey Girl. Honey Girl is about our main character whose name is Grace. Oh my gosh, her name is Grace Porter. So, for some reason, they call her Grace Porter almost all the way through the thing. Like, everybody calls her by both names, which is so weird. But her dad is in the military. She calls him Colonel, and he calls her Porter. So, he's been calling her Porter since she was little. So, Porter has been on the road to being a doctor for a long time, and then she decides that she doesn't want to be a physician. She's going to switch and get her PhD in astronomy. Astronomies. Right, yeah. Um, so this has caused some tension with her family. She's just graduated. She's not sure what to do. She is a stellar astronomer. Astronomer? Yeah, it must be astronomy. Stellar astronomer, but she's also black, and there are no other black astronomers ever in the history of the world, apparently. And she is having a really hard time finding a job. It doesn't even say. Yep, astronomy. Dad is a no feelings, no nonsense kind of guy. Porter's get the job done kind of person. So she's about to snap, and she goes to Las Vegas as a graduation celebration with her 2 best friends, and gets married to a random chick she meets there. And when she goes back home, so she finds out that the person that she has married lives in California, lives in New York City, and she lives in Portland, I think. So she's got some splaining to do to herself. What is going on with her, and how can she learn more about this woman who is really drawing her in and is so loving and wonderful, and also think about how she is going to have this type A personality and life and this nervous breakdown that she's been nursing for the last 10 years. So the book was really interesting. That's not the right word. No, I think interesting is the right word. So Suki, I think her name is Suki, the woman that Sunny has married, not Sunny, Porter, Grace has married, runs a podcast that's about lonely creatures, and that really draws, Yuki is her name, that really draws Grace in because she feels like she's a lonely creature, and she and Yuki have this connection to each other. Their scenes were the best scenes in the book, the most interesting. I know that some people who are grown ass adults struggle with boundaries with their parents. I know that. That's true. And it's hard for me to relate to it because Grace Porter is a 29-year-old woman, and she has a whole lot of trouble telling her parents what's going on and what she wants to do. She doesn't know who she is. She's really been invalidated for a long time. I believe she has a history, maybe, of scratching and cutting under stress. So that should be a trigger warning for folks. Some intentional, not conscious necessarily. Sometimes she looks down and realizes that she's hurting herself, or her friends have to tell her. So that's something to keep in mind. She's really trying to figure out what's going on for her. There are a couple of scenes in it with therapists. So once she knows and agrees to figure some stuff out with the help of a professional, she meets a few people before she finds the one. And I really liked that sequence of meeting someone and them really being the wrong fit and you get to meet someone else, because I really think people should be allowed to do that more, rather than having to settle with who they meet the first time. I wish that was just more of an allowed kind of thing, but our medical system really isn't set up for options and stuff like that. I would recommend it. I gave it at least 3.5 solid stars. It might wobble out of 4 if I focus on those scenes where they're together and some of those resolution scenes, some of that people coming together kind of stuff. She's been estranged from her mom. Her dad's an asshole. You know, all those kinds of things are happening throughout the book. And then we get to the end and we see some good things happening. So that's great. Maybe it would be classified as a romance, but it's got a lot of other stuff going on. I'm going to say it's more of an adult contemporary with some romance. There's one mild, intimate scene. Mildish. It's certainly not a smutty scene at all. And like I said, there are trigger warnings for mental health stuff, self-harm. Any other ones? Maybe that's it. High stress situations, stuff like that. Ooh, this was the 3rd video for sure. But I think that's it. Oh, if you have read this book, whether you love it, hate it, or it was in the meh category, drop your comments below and let me know what you think. All right. Catch you on the next one.